All righty, got it. Hitting the goddess there. All righty, hitting all the goddess. Got it. All righty, y'all. Peaceful greetings, Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey, and I'm feeling really great right now, guys. It just had like a really amazing unveiling just now. Like Brother Sean was just like dropping it, and then like I was speaking with my brother, and then it's like there was just like this energy explosion of like epiphany. Wow. Yep. So that's how I went. So anyway. Peaceful greetings, Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwestern Maxim. All is well with you all. I'm here with my magnificent bros, and they are
Brother Benjamin Bey, Islam. How are you doing?
Islam. I am Tamari Bey. Hope you can hear me.
You're loud and clear, bro.
There you go.
Islam. Am I coming through intelligibly also?
I got you. Yes.
I am.
Yes.
All righty. Indeed. So we are going to get started. We're going to get right to it, guys. I'd like to welcome you to our 7 Hill Star 7-day Astro weather report, right? And that epiphany that was today, right? It is, guys. The time is to put the egos to the side. Being industrious is really what's on the table right now. And it's for about 600 to maybe 900 to 1,000 years from now that we would be doing over the next 25 years. All righty, pertaining to work. So, however, the work that we're doing is sincerely motivated from east, from within. All righty. And sincerity is at the forefront. So when it says this, quote unquote, the meek shall inherit the earth. Alrighty. At the end of the day, what that's actually saying, if you're not standing on truth, you know what I mean? It's like, as Brother Sean had put in the meme before, you're bound on the drizzle, right? So with that being said, it's like, I'm just saying that's what the meme says. You know what I'm saying? I know it came from a movie, right? A parody movie. However, with that being said, I'm just like really thinking like, all right, hold on, man. Like, yeah, be pure heart, be sincere intent, be love, be honor. For us, because we've declared and proclaimed our nationality per what Prophet Noble Drew Ali reminded us. We're, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's, our ancient foremothers and forefathers mindset is what we are. All righty. So with that being said, where we are with that being pure heart, being sincere intent, being love, being honor at the forefront pertaining to our mind is Prophet Noble Drew Ali, respectfully, and unapologetically to not cause harm to anyone as far as in the causal realm or what's called the spirit realm. All righty. Also, as far as anywhere in the astral realm, that's the soul plane, and anywhere on the 5 cycle realm, which is the physical plane. So with that being said, I just felt that there was an awesome unveiling because there's some transits for me that are happening personally. So, but not to be selfish, it's just was like, wow, that's really great, and to, share with my brothers that unveiling, to, when it comes to the egos, it's anywhere you are on the planet, it's, you can do a lot more without it. You know what I mean? Like the higher self choices are way more resourceful than when we decide to allow ourselves to be in lower self and in our ego. So without further ado, we're going to get right to it. That's the only ad-libbing I'm doing today. I promise, but on the monologue. How many people are like, yeah, right. Anyway, with that being said,
I got a big ad-lib for everything that you just said. But go ahead.
No, go right ahead, bro. Go right ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Because it's literally like everything you just said is like my first aspect.
Wow. Muy. Muy. So with that being said, right? Right? Guys, love is the answer and not no soft kooky way. You know what I mean? It's love under will. All righty, like seriously, guys, like it's nothing wrong with being like King Kong was a very gentle and caring being. How they made it depicted the character King Kong in the most recent depictions. It's just like, oh, he was a soldier trying to protect the jungle.
Is love really? Is love not the only thing there is for real though? Like, really?
That's, man, when you really are really in Prophet Noble Drew literature and meeting him there, yo, it's just like, whoa, like, hold on, man. Like, you really see that is it. But you got to have a mindset that's really like, it's almost to a point where you got to be like, look, if I transition from this, from starvation, you know what I'm saying, then at least I know I did the right thing. Like, type energy is like that. It's like when Kevin Bacon, and what was that movie? It was The Air Up There, and Kevin Bacon wanted to go to the Wanabi tribe to recruit that one, the chiefs of that tribes, the chief of Wanabi tribe's son. He wanted to basically grab the prince to go and hoop with him. You know what I mean? I forgot which. I think it was Syracuse. He wanted to take him to Syracuse or whatever. You know what I mean? To play basketball, and they put Kevin Bacon through a manhood ritual. A rite of passage, so to speak, or whatever, to show that. And it's kind of like, you know what I mean, sort of kind of like proverbially like that, so to speak, but I'll let it go. All right, so anyway, right, anyhowzer, we're gonna go and get started, right? Let's see, let me go and do the screen share here, right? Let's do this. Let's rock and roll. Definitely honors the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We are truly inspired by Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Charles Mosley Bey. You guys ever see me publish and it says Caliph Charles Mosley Bey? That's not published anywhere but from my own heart. All righty, that's just my personal sharing. I'm not saying something ill toward or anything like that. However, that's just how I see it. I feel first and foremost, however, through actual study, just kind of actually, really know within the fiber of my being that, Charles Mosley Bey is defending sincerely who we are, and it's there in the Library of Congress. All right, so it's amazing, guys. Love instead of hate. This is not arrogance that we're displaying. It really is like seeing the beauty in meeting Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, and it's universal. It's actually for everyone in a non-dogmatic, kind of way. It's just like, hey, look, you ever had on a pair of Jordans? No? Hey, try these on and see how they feel. That's just it. Just take care of them. Instead of keep getting the same ones, like Brother Benjamin said, just keep getting the same ones over. Every time they, you had the 11s like 3 times already. But anyway, so let's get it going. So, guys, we are finishing up the moon cycle, the month for the air sign Aquarius, anciently ruled by Saturn, however, contemporarily co-ruled with Uranus, right? Pouring out that water there, pouring out that knowledge. Water sign Pisces for the fishes, right? Anciently, Neptune is ruling with the modern co-ruler, the contemporary co-ruler, Neptune. Alrighty, so we're doing the 24th, alrighty. 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and then I'm gonna bring up the new calendar, guys, because this is the end here. Alrighty, as you can see, and at the end of our calendar, we give you a little notes from a stock photo that I just got and just added a few things to it or whatever, so you guys can get your hands on it. Alrighty, and we're saying, gratitude indeed for our first run. That's the first one, guys. That's a milestone, right? We made it through a whole sun cycle, right? Of a calendar here, right? This is amazing. And now we're going into actually finishing up the rest of the sun transit before we reach the vernal equinox. So Thursday and Tuesday, with only 7. I know we can't see Tuesday, but there's only 1 there. Once I take you guys there, it's Brother Terrell Tamari Day. Friday and Monday is I, with 4 transits. And Brother Benjamin is going to bring the Grand Slam for Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. And let's take you guys to see what the first and the second is looking like. Bringing up the new calendar here. Where we'll be finishing up because we're in the transit pertaining to Pisces for the sun again. Jupiter and Neptune co-ruling together, the fishes, leading into on that moon cycle. Fire sign Aries for the vernal equinox for the ram, ruled by Mars ancient and contemporarily. And so we're looking at the first also and the second, where we'll be completing that. And I say completing that will be Brother Terrell, Tamari Bey, and Brother Benjamin on Wednesday, closing out for the new moon on Wednesday. All right. So with that, guys, let's get right on to it. Right. Let me come on back here if it stop the screen share, right? On that one. And let's get the screen share going on here.
Okay, cool. I was like, what?
Let me actually do multiple screen share. Pardon me.
Hey, you too. Check out these camera views in my silver eye.
I'm sure that is correct. One moment. Got it. Let's do it. And share.
When I get a migraine, I shut up.
What is that, man? What are you watching, bro? What is that? What is that, man?
Yo, what is that? Who's
What?
all I heard was when I get a migraine.
Oh, it's by the TV. Apologies. That's for Nutritech.
Wow.
Of course, that's a commercial. Like they like, oh yeah, when I get a migraine.
Yeah, I guess like Nutritech. I got the end of that. I made it.
Oh my
He's
god,
driving down
that was funny.
the road or something. My apologies, fellas.
No, you good, bro.
It's all to the good. It's on my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Terrell, Tamari Bey, Islam.
All right, Islam. All right. So this is the 24th of February that we're looking at, right? 1442. We're looking at the sunrise at 6:50:39. 6:50:39. Right? Look at those days getting longer.
Yes. Hey, that's funny. I noticed that. I was like, wow, man, it's getting back into the 6 o'clock hour. But go
It's
ahead.
so cool. It's so cool to actually experience consciously, yes.
Indeed.
So just a good time to get active. Rise with the sun. Yes.
Still around.
So what's my first aspect? It's
hold on. I thought I had the calendar, but I did not. So pardon me. I'm getting the first aspect now.
What am I doing here? Sure.
It's like when you have something ready and you're ready and it's ready when it's ready. But then
Moon and Mercury.
Moon, a sextile Mercury.
Yes.
All right.
And that was that you said that was man. Yo. Yeah. We were speaking on that ego and that lower self basically.
Yeah. That's gotta stop because we gotta move forward.
That's
all revenge and all that stuff. It is void. You know what I mean?
Yo, bro. You want to do me a favor? Well, do them a favor. You want to do everyone a favor, a quick favor? You want to pull up the circle 7, go to chapter 3?
You ain't seen nothing but a word.
Nothing but a word, brother. I'm kidding. That's some third house Mercury communication things, I think. Chapter 3.
Indeed, right? It's funny because Moon sextile Mercury is me and Jag right now. You're really thinking I'm the Cancer, he's the Gemini. And there's this like opportunity and growth right now. He's like, bring up the Quran, and he said, bring up chapter 3. And you said it's about communication. You just see that, like it's like wow, right? So let me tell you about it. Right? Broadcast just real quick on the chapter 3. Let's get it. Right.
All right. This Chapter 3 is pretty much the moon sextile, moon in Sagittarius, sextiles, Mercury and Aquarius. Right. So, man, yo. Oh man. So chapter 3, Elihu's lessons, the unity of life, right? So again, Elihu met his pupil in the sacred grove and said, so it's just starting out straight like that, like we get straight to the point, right? It's just straight to it. Quote, no man lives unto himself, for every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. So when you said what you said, bro, you was like, you know, we gotta just chill with the ego stuff, yo. It was like, once you said it, I'm like, yo, why is he's speaking on the whole, what I wrote for my aspect. Because I wrote,
Wow.
I literally wrote, hold up, we go to it. I wrote, how many selves are there? And then as you can see, I'm gonna just keep reading. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand love in return. They will not do to other men what they will not have other men do unto them. There are two selves, the higher and the lower self. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna keep reading. I'll probably zoom out. Yeah, so the higher self. The higher self is human spirit clothed with soul. So it's like a blanket. Made in the form of Allah. Made in the form of the arm, the leg, and the arm, and the head. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The lower self, the ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cardinal self, the body of desires, is a reflection of the higher self distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. So it's the rose-colored glasses needs to come off. The lower self is an illusion and will pass away. The higher self is Allah and man and will not pass away. So you are the creator.
And for me, Allah is, you know, how I have shared in my heart, is all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac.
Meaning everyone is manifest in the bands of the zodiac.
Period.
The higher self is the embodiment. So you're embodying what truth is. Period. The lower self is truth reversed, and so is falsehood manifest. So just think about when you just a reference. So the embodiment of truth. So you would hear the Moors or the Asiatics, right? The Moors or Asiatics. And then that falsehood being strangely mixed, you would hear the Black Asiatic man or the Asiatic Black man. Right? That's a manifestation of that falsehood being mixed with the truth. Okay, we're going to continue. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want to hit the points.
All right.
The
Yeah,
higher self.
Brother Benjamin, like, remember, man, I'm on the clock here.
Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you, bro.
No,
Strangely wrong. And
it's never like time slow down when we do this.
Yeah, you already. All right, it's fine. The higher self is justice, mercy, love, and right. The lower self is what the higher self is not. Okay. The lower self breeds hatred, slander, lewdness, murderers, theft, and everything that harms. The higher self, this right here, this is like, that needs to be highlighted. The higher self is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life. Yo, when I read that,
is mother, not is the mother. I'm just saying that disrespectfully.
Islam.
Mm-hmm.
When I read that earlier, it instantly made me think about when I've been saying for the past cycles, like, connect to the beauties of life. And that's the harmonies of life, being like your higher self, so to speak. And lastly, the lower self is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, and satisfying gain, but gives unrest, misery, and death.
And if we would take it to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, we could look up Elihu. Brother Sean, if you could bring up the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, you don't have to do it like, you can look it up, you know what I mean? But as we going on, and even if you bring it up, you know what I mean, as we get into the first, testimony, that's fine. But if you can, Brother Sean, look up Elihu in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. And we also know that when you look up the etymology for the word bless is blood sacrifice. So normally we would, in our heart of hearts, replace the word blessed, even though we know what it means when it comes to blood sacrifice. So it would be good too, in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, also, Brother Sean, to look up the term bless, so that we can give the science pertaining to ultimate reality, science pertaining to being. That's metaphysics. And that's how we utilize this. We do not utilize this to, beat it over people's heads. This is how we go within ourselves, alrighty, within ourselves, and have a private, personal, and joyous mirror session with the Holy Quran and the 101 questionnaires for Moorish Americans in an unpious fashion. And I hear virtue signaling, so to speak. All right. I yield, beloved brother. You stopped at minute 12. I think you're at 13.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stop at. I think I'll stop at. It's kind of hard to stop, but I'll stop at. Yeah, we might as well just finish it, I guess. Yeah. Okay, we can just finish it. All right. So we're at minute 13. It gives, okay, no, let me read 12 again. The lower self is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, and satisfying gain, but gives unrest, misery, and death. It gives men's apples that are lovely to the eye and pleasant to the smell. Their cores are full of bitterness and gall. If you would ask me what to study, I would say yourselves. And when you well have studied them, and then would ask me what to study next, I will reply, yourselves.
That's astrology right there.
Islam.
I yield.
Every day is a lesson. He who knows well his lower self knows the illusion of the world, knows the illusions of the world, the falsehoods, knows of the things that pass away, and he knows his higher self, knows Allah, knows well the things that cannot pass away. Thrice blessed is the man who has made purity and love his very own. He has been ransomed from the perils of the lower self and is himself his higher self. Men seek salvation from an evil that they deem a living monster of the netherworld. They have gods that are but demons in disguise, are powerful, yet full of jealousy and hate and lust. All illusions, yet full of jealousy and hate and lust, whose favor must be bought with costly sacrifice of fruits and of the lives of birds and animals and humankind. And yet these gods possess no ears to hear, no eyes to see, no heart to sympathize, no power to save. This evil is a myth. These gods are made of air, clothed with shadows of a thought. The only devil from which man must be redeemed is self, the lower self. If man will find his devil, he must look within. He must look within. His name is self. If man would find his savior, he must look within. He must. And when the demon self has been dethroned, the savior, love, will be exalted to the throne of power. The David of the light is purity, who slays the strong Goliath of the dark and seats the savior, love, upon the throne.
Islam.
So, listen carefully. Yes. Islam.
Love, light is purity.
Connect to your roots, man. Seriously. Connect to your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Who are they? Who is your mother? Uh-oh. Black magic.
Let's see. I got Bless pulled up.
Blessed. To invoke good upon, to call forth the action pertaining to call upon. To call forth, that's it. It says so call forth, to call forth the action of calling forth. To confer God's good on something or someone, to confer God's good. Okay. To confer invoking goodness on something or someone. Blessedness of God, the joy that comes from invoking to those whose thoughts are stayed on him. Everlasting joy shall be unto them, quote unquote. Isaiah chapter 61, verse 7. Blessing. Power of blessing imparts the quickening spiritual power that produces growth and increase. It is the power of multiplication. All right.
So in other words, it's a sacrifice within to make a higher self decision when presented with a situation where it's like it will probably be easy to make a lower self decision.
Yes.
So in that sense, when looking up the etymology pertaining to it, bless, Elihu was the other one too, Brother Sean.
I got you right here, bro. One sec.
Islam. And when thinking about that, like, yeah, it's like we could put it in a proverbial sense of blood sacrifice, because it's almost like, when it says you're kind of taking the life out of something, you're taking the life out of your lower self. So you're giving like a blood sacrifice in the spirit, though, in the breath exercise pertaining to motivating the lower self to act. So you have that, circle around your passions and your conduct squared up. So now you're making poetically, so to speak, however, able to go within with this, information and be able to do that, make a sacrifice, and, by doing the higher self thing, and just, it's like, remove yourself from any situations that aren't profitable for you in your edification within yourself. What it is.
Why would you stay? Why would you, like, that's the you're speaking on memes, like the dog sitting there in the fire. Why would you just continue to sit there and not take action?
Indeed. Elihu, Islam, Elihu, from the Ibri, or what they call Hebrew, my to call upon is that which is. Whose to call upon is he. My to call upon, or proper person to call upon, is he, right? God, right, to call upon, or proper person to call upon is he. Id es is what I-E is. So id est, Jehovah, right? So now we can look at it like the feminine principle, her, she, hers, is potential energy, whereas the feminine principle in action is he, him, his. So even down to the fact that, technically, the males are, degenerate females, have nipples, we don't feed anything, don't necessarily lactate for that purpose for the children. So, and the sperm that we actually have to be able to help defibrillate the next life is, given to us by our mother. So with that being said, with that being given to us by our mother, we can actually now, rightly divide within ourselves, not within the way to force a group of people to think like we're sharing. And with that, we yield on that, Brother Sean. I appreciate you. And I'm going to get to the screen share here and get Brother Jag to continue on that right there with his first, testimonies. And hey, guys, that's just how it went. That's how the energy flowed. And I'm appreciating it, guys. So I yield the floor to you, beloved brother. Islam.
We day before Senior Bay Solar return, though. We in the future. We're in the future, brother. This isn't the correct chart for the moment.
Hold up.
Take me back. Take me back to the moment.
Pardon me. It's at 2:17, isn't it?
Yeah, so look at that.
Perdónenme.
Yeah,
All right.
Mercury's in the second, Moon's in the 12th. So that's that. That's pretty much why I said that and why that happened like that. But so maybe, who's getting a new automobile? Who's getting a new automobile? Where you going? What you get? Take care of your stuff. Take care of your stuff. There's a lot of moving going around. So, make sure you know where, mark your boxes accordingly. All right.
Girl that I know is moving like as we speak. She's like in a new home right now, or apartment. She just moved. She hasn't had her child yet, but she moved because she's with child. So that energy is loud just to put light on what my brother is saying.
Islam. Yeah, that's funny. Is she? I don't mean to get in their business. Is she moving with someone?
Yeah. I would say they're not married or anything, but consort downside or whatever. And I'm only saying that because that's what the
it's not. Yeah, I got you.
Mother or anything, but she's just very vocal about being a first-time mom. Seems like, and she just documenting the whole thing. So it's pretty beautiful to see.
It's not. Again. Yeah, we can move on with that. Just separate yourself from the insincerities and connect to that higher self. Eradicate your lower self. Right? I'm gonna move on to the moon square Jupiter. So this is gonna be, that energy right there, moon sextile Mercury. It could be great for this moon square Jupiter because you won't have a egoic battle with whomever, so to speak, because you're clear about your position, your status, your mindset. So you're not easily swayed by someone who thinks they're a scholar because they have a degree from this college and they this is self-control here, okay? Moon square Jupiter, this is self-control. You're expanding yourself and you're releasing those preconceived ideas on how we are supposed to be for success, or what success is. That's subjective. Success is subjective, right? Your happiness isn't someone else's, so you have to know what benefits you. So with moon square Jupiter, no arguing over what you value or things that mentally stimulate you. You're wasting your time. However, this could be a great time for you to get that little niche or that push you need to get that business plan out there. You've been formulating it for a while. Let it out. Just acknowledge where you are. Are you satisfied? So with that question and that thought, so make the proper moves to, get to where you want to be. No one's going to do it for you. Moving on. Moon's going to sextile Neptune. This is cool. We got a little fluctuation. Whoop, whoop. Going around the tab. I said moon. Did I say moon? Venus. Venus and Neptune. Did I say moon? Okay, so Venus.
Billy, I was kind of like looking at the next one, man. I'm
you're good.
Now making sure I'm on it. You know what I mean?
It's live.
Venus sextile Neptune.
Yes, it's not. Venus sextile Neptune. Venus is in the 8th house, right? And Neptune, where you at, baby? She in 11th. She in 11th? Yeah. Ooh. 10. She in 10.
Yes, you're correct. 11. Hold on. You said, yeah, you're correct. Yeah, absolutely. If you want me to simplify the chart, I can. You said you love this joint, though. So.
Oh, yeah, you good.
All righty. Islam. Make sure I got my pros book.
Yeah, this is cool. This is unity here. This is the opportunity for unity, bringing everything that's separate together. This is someone was throwing away the goods and you found the value in it. So now you've inherited it. So now there's some expansion here within the things that was seen as garbage. There's some value with it, right? So get comfortable with what you're uncomfortable with. This would be a good time to challenge yourself. So be open to challenges and differences. Be open to challenges and differences, right? It's a good time to go hang out with your buddies too. This is another, let's just hang out. Everybody hanging out today. Moving on, Moon is going to sextile Aquarius.
Saturn. Aquarius, yeah.
18 degrees, 19 minutes is the aspect accuracy. So the moon's in the 5th and Saturn's in the 7th.
No, right? This chart, I wonder when other astrologers look at it like their chart is just so busy. How are they even reading all that? They're not even using all this stuff. And it's funny. I'm not saying that's what they're saying. I'm just saying, just having fun in my head. If I was to paradox it, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, actually, I am looking at a lot of things at the same time. Even though we're going in on the basics, I'm still seeing other influences.
Of course,
So,
right. Always so much at play. Yeah.
Indeed.
So this is great. I feel like this is a very healing energy. So this is healing one's environment, one's immediate relatives or the people that you're closest to. This is also a very creative time too. Like there could be some conception being made here. That's for sure. Leo on the rise. Goodness gracious.
Sun in the 8th.
Right. So yeah, but this is very creative though. Finding ways to really like I said, heal. And it's very unconventional. It seems unconventional because the programming that we've been programmed with, but it's really just connecting back to nature. This is that, like just going outside and okay, let's just say you were sad and you went outside and that shit just like washed away once you stepped outside, like literally. So that mentality of
go outside if you're sad. That's why my yield.
It's loud. No, seriously though, you need to go outside for real. That's so underrated. It's so underrated. Like people are so engulfed with just the technological things of life, and that's cool and all, but that's not what it's about. It's going back to the horse and buggy days, quoting Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam. We're gonna move on to Mercury squaring Uranus. This is great. That's pretty much that too, what I just said. Oh man. Yeah. This is like the imaginary evils that rule the day no longer rule the day. It's just like all of that is coming out, right? So all of the hidden communications or the things that haven't been communicated are being communicated by some source that's connected to a source that you tried to disconnect yourself from, so to speak, if you kind of catch my drift. So definitely be open to the the very unusual occurrences around this time. There's going to be a lot of reaching out. Let's say it like that, right? So on whatever you've been, let's say, building lately, let's just say stay consistent. Let not the fluctuations within relations really get you off your square. Just let that be what it is. Because, you know, what's for you is what's for you, and what's not is it's not. So it may be tough to accept, but it is what it is. So that's that. Yeah, what have you been, what's up?
I said Islam, bro. Just dealing with a situation with that. And here you are again. Yeah. Only thing is, it wasn't a 6th house placement, but Islam, bro.
You're hilarious.
I appreciate your wisdom, bro. Islam.
Islam. Yeah. And that's just what it is. You know, we have to find what really stimulates us. And don't settle. None of us. Don't settle. Because, oh man, you'll regret that. It's not gonna be what you thought. Because that's back to that what is it? The lower self is rich in promises and joy and satisfying gain. However, that core of that apple is rotten. Yes. So beware. Buyers, beware. Can we get the door? All right. Moon is going to square Neptune now. Right. This is the last aspect. After this last aspect, the moon goes void for about 13 hours. 13 hours. Few minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. But the moon's in the
13 hours, 3 minutes, yep.
13 hour and 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's long.
That's fine.
So moon's in the 2nd. Jupiter is in the 5th house. It's cool. Because that moon was in the 5th house earlier this day. Like, yeah, I wanted to do that. But then, so you should probably not move so fast. Plan accordingly and not carnally. You should probably consider consulting your astrologer if you're like looking to conceive around this time, seriously, because you don't want to produce the wrong seed. You know what I mean? Because that guy might not be the guy you think he is.
And that apple tree that you planted could be an apple tree full of rotten apples.
Oh, rotten apples, baby. No.
Yeah, fire can't live underwater.
Oh, man. You better think twice, baby. So, yeah, family disputes are here for sure. So consider that. You know, don't really get into that. Just walk away. But be willing to learn here as well. This is a very learning opportunity here. Be open to the obstacles that can teach you, you know, self-accountability, being accountable for one's actions. And yeah, go to where your heart is, like, seriously. Like, seriously though. Even if that's to the waterfall, do it. Like, seriously. Listen to your heart. And with that, I yield the floor. I hope I wasn't long-winded there, Brother Benjamin. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I'm pressing people for time. Yeah, you saw it. I got 13, so I got to figure out how to, you know.
Islam.
I mean, we all gotta, you know, get it out or help to get it going. I mean, but I know Brother Benjamin can handle it, but we here though, bro. We here.
Yeah.
I only got one transit for me. I'm not rubbing it in, Brother Benjamin. I'm just saying.
It's like the most experienced astrologer has like one, and then it's like new guy on the blog like, man, I'm checking like 8 people.
It's like we didn't purposely. That was the rotation. It just so happens Brother Benjamin got a 13 kind of testimonial.
He got smacked.
On the paper, it didn't look like 13. And I was like,
you're going to have a productive
he was like, yeah, you got 13.
today,
I was like, 13? And I started counting. I was like, wait, wow. It is 13 on there. I was like, oh.
Hey, I was talking to Brother Corey about that. I said, man, remember we was having them 14, 13 transit days. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's only 9 this time. Like, only 9. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
To see how the stars line up.
Yeah, it's absolutely. All righty, guys. So the next sunrise we have here, right? Let me hit this next button actually, and let me actually put it at 0, all right, for the aspect. Okay, so the sun will be conjunct the ascendant, or what we call sunrise, all righty, for the 25th at 0600, 49 minutes and 15 seconds thereafter. And again, we're giving testimony as if everyone is, near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. However, we are all remotely streaming from different locations, and we're going to start this cycle, because the only reason we're doing that because the calendar is based on that, because that's where Seven Hill Star originates, from near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. But actually, before that, some would refer to as the Susquehannock territory for those that were, that so-called family or quote unquote tribal name. Some people also refer to the Skyways also. However, we're not really getting into that as much as we're just really getting into, like Rena Lenati and things of that nature, just all Moors, all just one, loved one kinship termed family, because we're serving one another, so moving forward. Yes, sunrise here at 6 degrees, Pisces, 51 minutes, guys. And I'm going to show you here, sun glyph, 6 degrees, all right, in Pisces, 51 minutes. And you can see that's where the ascendant is also. So that is the sunrise. And we're going to go into my aspect here, where I'm actually coming off of that 13-hour and 3-minute void. Of course, guys, I trust that you went and did some grocery shopping, so to speak, and got some things prior to that moon being void, of course, around 2100, so that you don't, you can just do your cooking thing, right, in-house or whatever. You don't want to make any major transactions until after 1127. So let's actually put Luna here in Capricorn, actually, and move on forward. All righty, and here we go. So we have Luna, all righty. We have Luna here at 0 degrees Capricorn, 0 minutes in the 7th house. All righty. So the numeric code that I've delineated for that, including it being in the 22nd lunar mansion, is 4-10-7th 22nd. All righty. And 0 degrees in 1925, because it's moved a little bit. It's probably at about, 29-ish, maybe 28, maybe even 27 at this moment. We have to go and check the galactic center. In 1925, though, it was recorded for the Encyclopedia of Astrology, going off of Vivian E. Robson's Fixed Stars and Constellations. If I got that properly, if I'm citing that reference properly, brothers. At 0 degrees is the galactic center in 1925. All righty. So the most, and that was, basically 97 years ago, the most important point in astrology. All right, so that's where the moon is. All right, just coming off of that, really being at the end of Sagittarius, actually just a few hours before that, actually. So that's where the moon will be actually riding on that energy and hitting the cusp pertaining to the 22nd lunar mansion. And it's an ambitious degree as is recorded. Also, just 53 minutes off of that is spiculum. All righty, just have a declination of 1 minute north. Alrighty, and it's looking like the 8th, 20th, and the 21st magnitude star is written in the constellation Sagittarius, with the nature pertaining to Mars and the moon mentioned by Ptolemy in connection with blindness. Alrighty, so I would just say here, just to give a brief off of it, I just want to just give you guys the notes there just briefly to just, so you can see that when we have the moon, alrighty, the key word for the moon, you're just going to go off of our numeric code delineation. We're going to say home. So when you have home, right, moon, and it's in a sign where it's feeling kind of not so home, which is dealing with the essentials. So when you have the home essentials in how you are relating, all righty, for, purposes that are good to do healing, maybe even journeys, and it's good for partnerships and good to get caught, so to speak, for you will be able to escape quickly. However, in using that also, let's say we're not looking at the physical as far as someone, even if someone may come across that, we can also say if people try to implant things in your mind that aren't fruitful for your growth, then you can escape quickly from the clutches of someone's untoward hypnosis, so to speak. right? And just continue to be pure heart, be sincere intent, be love, be honor, and have the thought pertaining to all boundless law, pertaining to the zodiac manifested in flesh, all-knowing truth master at the forefront of your mind, provided that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a universal prophet and his philosophy is universal. He just came to us Moors first because we needed him the most so that we can get the North Gate here, alrighty, at Amexum. Anciently, this is Amexum, alrighty, what you call in North America. Here, cosmologically, at the North Gate, the hub of civilization, we can get things in order across the planet, all right? So, with that being said, with that here, we are bringing the moon, alrighty, in a sign where it just, you know, feels not so home, so to speak, as it's been recorded. However, we're able to bring home the essentials, you know, in how we were relating to people so that we can actually meet people in their subconscious mind in a way that they can be able to comprehend and have a victorious joy in having a conversation with us, with the part of victory there also in the 7th house. So in continuing, actually, I will yield the floor there and move on to the sunrise for Saturday. That was Holy Day, guys. That's the only transit for a holy day there, alrighty, for 1100 hours, 27 minutes and 11 seconds thereafter, alrighty, near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. I yield the floor to my beloved brother in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Benjamin Bey. Islam.
Islam. I appreciate you, Brother
Indeed.
Sabado.
De nada.
This is the part when you pick up the grass and you smell it, like in the Gladiator. Was that Gladiator when we did that? Walk into the arena, you grab the grass and just, yeah. But for Saturday, February 26, 2020, sunrise is at 600 hours, 47 minutes, 48 seconds. And on the rise, looks like Pisces. And so the sun is in Pisces there as well. And my delineation, or my first transit, would be the sun sextiling the moon. And this would be happening at 1200 hours, 10 minutes. And so the sun is in the first house. So 7 degrees Pisces, 51.
Pardon me, hold on. Give me 1 second. Pardon me.
Okay.
I think I did that thing again. Hold on 2 seconds.
That shadow Mercury thing, you know, your energy.
Hold on. You said sunset. Yeah, you already know, bro, because I didn't hit the previous, so to speak, but it's all good.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, should be happening. Hold on. Yeah, that's right. Just that's basically correct. It was going to be 10 minutes after midnight.
Yeah. I think I was at 12:10. So yeah. So now it will be Sagittarius on the rise for this chart, and then the sun will be located in the 4th house of home, 7 degrees. Pisces,
right. Scorpio, you're correct. Right.
34 minutes, and we have the moon sextiling it in the 2nd house, same degrees, 7 degrees, Capricorn, 34 minutes. And so we're going to be talking about possessions in home. And I'll give the testimony to a creative spark that incites one's life, balance within the heart and the mind, bringing harmony in relations to others, finding one's groove again. It's very possible to return to a balanced state of mind, to manifest, because that's what we're already here to do on earth, is to manifest, not just like make things up, but to think and to, you know, make things be as you were, and because you were once something that was abstract, and you know you needed some type of balancing. And as we walk this earth plane, we do the balance thing because like we have a higher self and a lower self, like Brother Jack showed us earlier. So that would be like that faint voice in your head, and then like the actual feelings that you feel when things happen. So the thing you possess here, your feelings you possess, and then your home. So you want to shine light on those Piscean, you know, institutional thinking that's probably hauling you up, you know, or you can be dreaming about it or expanding it because the Jupiter is next to the sun. So you could be definitely have some, you know, expanded home dreamy vibes, but they could be stagnant because the moon is in Jupiter. So you have some great ideas that you possess, but you can't really manifest them in the home, you know, because Jupiter is, you know, for speaking for myself, you could become a procrastinator. You can see the big things everywhere instead of like, oh, I'm gonna put these clothes up. Islam was trying. And but as I was saying, Jupiter makes you procrastinate. You know, it doesn't make you. You are doing it, like influence your procrastination. So just be careful overall. Just between your possessions and your home, find an equal balance in manifestation. When you have big ideas, use that Capricorn to just essentially structure it. Because what comes slow, comes strong, and it'll last. And I'll yield on that. Brother Hasan. Let's see what we got here. We got Moon trine Uranus. All right. Second one here for February 26, 2020, 600 hours, 40 minutes, and 14 seconds. On the rise, we have Pisces. We have the sun there in the first house of self, 7 degrees, 51 minutes, Pisces. And we'll be talking about the moon the moon trining Uranus. I stand corrected. So the moon is in the 11th house of Capricorn, 11 degrees and 28 minutes. And we're looking for Uranus. Uranus is there in the second house, 11 degrees Taurus, 28 minutes. So we're talking about the group and we're talking about possessions again. So there's just two delineations in. So it looks like we're going to be talking about possessions and, gaining them and expanding them. But here I'll give testimony of a sudden awakening pertaining to tossing the world views to the side to fully suit the intuition to express oneself according to his or her own constitution. So you can possess your own constitution while within the group, and you could get influenced to get like that sudden spark of an idea and, construct that and communicate that with your friends. So you got the moon, you got home, values, initiation, and transformation all happening within a Capricornian house. So it's kind of like someone's building a house because you have a home, and then you value a home, and then you want to be not build it too fast, but have initiative and drive to do it because you want it. So you're like, okay, I want to have some excitement about it. And then the transformation and death and rebirth would be like, it could be a flat surface, like a house. When you start building a house, be flat, and you start to build on it, you start to transform it, and then you ultimately possess it. That could be some, let's say, Uranian, Taurian possession, because, you're dealing with the group, and the group are electrifying, streaming thoughts with the Aquarius house. So that awakening, was sparked by you being amongst, your kindred or your loved ones, creating something that ultimately can last for a while, because Capricorn is here, and Capricorn is all about things that are structured, things that aren't really going anywhere, because when it's wintertime, a lot of things don't move, because the grass is pretty crunchy. You don't see a lot of animals going across the road and things of that nature, so a lot of things are stagnant. But just because it's stagnant doesn't mean it's negative. But I'll yield on that. On Uranus, Uranus trining. All right. February 26, 2020. 900 hours, 43 minutes, and 10 seconds.
Okay,
on the rise. 52 seconds.
No, I said 2022.
Oh, 2022. I apologize. Taurus on the rise, or Gemini? Let me talk. Gemini.
Yeah, Taurus is on the rise, actually. Right?
Taurus is on the rise, and that will be ruled by Venus. And Venus is definitely in the 9th house right there, next to the. Would that be the part of fortune right there with Jupiter?
This is right here. Yeah, that's victory.
Victory, a lot of victory.
A lot of victory.
Right. Values, a lot of victory. The moon, and we'll be speaking. Oh, go ahead.
No, I said investor, but go ahead. I yield.
Oh yeah. We were speaking about the moon sextiling Jupiter, and the moon is in the 9th house. And ironically, the 9th house is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the 11th house, in between the sun and looks like Neptune. And right now, I'll give testimony to an opportunity to learn or expand one's mental and be optimistic in one's approach to said obstacles or a journey in life. So, like the 9th house is, a journey. So you could be, getting an influence from the group or some type of, let's say, field trip, because a field trip to a museum, because you have Jupiter, you have Pisces in the institution, and it's like a group. And then you have the 9th house, and then you have the moon and the actual, like, our body, because we're like moon stars and things of that nature. So we're like in a foreign place, but we've been to like this museum a while back, and it's like, you know, striking those like images and thoughts, like, man, this looked like this, or this tower looks like this. But I remember like seeing this artifact in this museum when I was with, you know, a family member or some type of trip with, you know, colleagues of something of that nature, or even just like a regular trip, but some far enough that can influence you, that doesn't influence you in your everyday day-to-day stuff, you know, because you drive around, if you go to like the coffee shop or like the same highway, the same road, but this time you're going to like Arkansas and you live in like Tuscaloosa. And people who like know Tuscaloosa, you be like, wow, it's kind of a way, I guess, of Tuscaloosa, Arkansas. So between that span of like 11th house and 9th house, you know, you can, you know, have some harm. You can see some things that can, you know, help you out with the expanding of your mind with the institution. And then you have your home and your essentials. And, you know, history, knowing your history can, you know, create, you know, solidifying your essentials. Because if you didn't know who you were, or, you know, you were part of, you couldn't really, you know, be a part of anything. You know what I'm saying? So the moon definitely, the moon in Capricorn is like, I'm a part of this because I'm a build it and make myself a part of it, you know, type deal. With Saturn, you know, the Saturn ruling that being like the authority figure there. So 9 times out of 10, something you build and make, you're going to have a say-so over it. You're not going to be a Hitler over it, but you're going to make sure it's not going to be abused, you know, and not look over that, because Jupiter and Pisces, you could just be hanging and banging with the people, well, not banging like that, or hanging and, you know, doing your thing and look over what really needs to be taken care of, you know, and that's not too good. You could be, you know, Pisceing it up, you're in the club, you know, 50 Cent, do your thing. But I digress and I yield on to that. And we'll jump to Sunday, because that's for all the transits for Saturday.
Yeah, get to the sunrise next. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, to add to your wisdom, man, you're exactly correct. You touched on the fact that naturally Jupiter rules the 9th house. However, Saturn's in rulership currently in that chart there. And it's interesting, too, because when you go here and look at the essential dignities, you know, both are in their rulerships, Jupiter and Saturn ruling over the houses that you're doing for the transit. And then also, you'll see when you had mentioned earlier about Venus by triplicity is in mutual reception with Saturn. So I thought that was just amazing to also see as well. Right. So when you had touched on those points and I had looked at the essential dignities, I was like, wow, you're actually pointing out some key areas. You know what I'm saying? By seeing it up, he's hilarious, man. Catch you in the club by seeing it up. Stop, man. Brother Sean's hilarious, man. No, we're not serious about clubs, guys. We don't. Well, I'm gonna speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure, like, you know, we're too
Mind club,
you know, yeah, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is dealing with within, and the more you're just loving yourself,
Club mind.
Yeah. Club mind, right?
Club mind.
Club mind. Club mind.
Hilarious, man. Club mind. Pour me a drink of that elixir. Walk on some water today.
Right. Give it that Aquarius special.
I know, right? Pour out that knowledge. Pour out that knowledge, man. I need some knowledge. It's hilarious. Okay, let me stop, man. You guys are distracted. No, I'm kidding. Ascendant. All right.
Okay.
No, you guys are cool. I enjoy improv. So, all right, that's what we got next. I yield.
All right. For Sunday, February 27th, 2020, we have 600 hours, 46 minutes, and 22 seconds. And on the rise, we have Pisces, the ruler being ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is sitting in the first house, 13 degrees, Pisces, 30 minutes. But we're here to talk about transit. And that transit is the moon sextiling Neptune. And the moon is in the 11th house of hopes, gains, wishes, friends, networking, and loud and wrong.
Well, that's where it was for the sunrise at the moment. You were just going with the flow of that until the computer brought it up. That's where it was.
The moon is now sextiling Neptune from the second house of possessions at 22 degrees, Capricorn, 20 minutes, and Neptune is in the fourth house, 22 degrees, Pisces, 20 minutes. So we have home, essentials, possessions, as far as the American code. And there's not one for Neptune, so we're going to be like Neptune, spirituality, and home. But we know what Neptune deals with. Neptune deals with illusions, you know, drinking, dreams, insight, psyche, those type of things. You know, things that are like higher than Jupiter. Like Jupiter would be like Harry Potter, and then Neptune would be Lord of the Rings. There's no hate on that, but it's like it's a mature type of field because it's both deal with like eighth house type deals, quote unquote black magic, things that you can't see, Maya type things, but not to be blabbering on. Moon sextiling Neptune. Oh yeah, according to the second and fourth house. So this energy will be going to be talking about the second and fourth house, giving testimony to an optimal opportunity to take a moment and reflect on more spiritual side of things. Brings one's inner child to the forefront of the mind. Put that old school cartoon on, play that album that makes your mind go places where the mundane things don't seem to activate. Hashtag smooth operator, because Neptune kind of goes with the flow along as Jupiter. And going with the flow could be kind of like looking over things, but we're not going to be procrastinators, but we're just not going to be reactionary. We're going to take time to relax, and it is in the fourth house. So you want to possess an essential that helps you, clear your mind. Like I said, that essential could be, that cartoon show, because when you're like looking at TV or anything on TV, you're not really like quote unquote thinking. You're just kind of on autopilot, just going with the flow. But you don't really want to be dogmatized. But at times you want to kind of like unplug from like being quote unquote on the grind, because there is a higher self, lower self. So you don't want to just bug out on the higher self and know that, you haven't like ate in 4 days, unless you've practiced not eating for 4 days, because that is the thing as well. That's the thing. But if you haven't, make sure that your Neptune isn't on the floor and you're just like, oh man, I've been watching the show for 3 days straight and I haven't called anybody. I haven't, made sure I'm straight or nothing. So you want to make sure that you're possessing an essential, non-stagnant mindset, which you won't, because it's sextile. And sextile is an opportunity. It's green. If it was a green line, you're fine. Red line, you're gonna have some pull-ups to do. But I yield on that. We'll slide.
Let me add to your wisdom.
No, go ahead.
Don't let the opportunity be a waste.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that comes by procrastination too. Not really seeing things through, not seeing the truth in things. Well,
Truth in lending act.
Yeah, the truth from your heart, which is the home, fourth house on a metaphysical level. Second, right here, we have Sunday, February 27th, 2020, 400 hours, 5 minutes, 42 seconds. Shout out Taylor Swift. On the rise, we have Capricorn. Shout out Kanye if we're doing that. But on the rise, we have Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is there chilling in the first house in Aquarius, about to slide into the second of possessions. So it looks like he's getting himself together with the group before he slides and does his money thing. Hopefully the moon isn't, in void. But Brother Jack has already told us about that. But we're here to talk about the moon conjunct Venus, our home, hugging our values. And the moon is in the first house of self in Capricorn, 24 degrees, 18 minutes. So we have home, essential self, as far as that numerical code. And we'll find right there at the bottom under that moon is Venus, 24 degrees, Capricorn, 18 minutes. So we have values, Capricorn itself. So you got home, Venus, Capricorn itself. Venus, essentials and self. And we have home, essentials and self. So once again, this is like, I want to say the new moon, or not new moon, full moon, one of these delineations. But right now, this could be like some type of full moon, energy. Because you got the self, you got your home, and your value. So right now, your home will be your body because of the moon. And it'd be moon stars because like physically we are created by the moon. So here you're like self-evaluating. You're not going to be like, let's go to the doctor and see if I have like quote unquote like cancer and all this stuff. Not a freak out moment, but kind of like me. I could use a haircut or whatever, or a trim here. So I'm like constantly twisting my hair, like be like a hair is essential to you if you care about those things, as far as like, I guess, debris in the air and things of that nature. You just want to look good. And I'm a Leo rising, so like I don't like want to take care of myself. I don't want to make sure that I'm going to always look the part. Probably said always look the best. And you can't be out here having your head like a tennis ball. So you want to make sure that you look great. You want to have that harmony. You want to have that home and jump values. And you don't want to be that. We're here to manifest.
On fire, bro. You
really
on fire. It's
you're not looking the part. But I'll give a testimony to the moon and Venus conjunct. Loving self, hashtag self-care, beauty, spa day, shoot your shot. If you've been eyeing that mother or that son, but get a haircut or the hair salon or trim, and you could get a favorable reply. Because once again, you got Saturn, and Saturn is like cold, things break off. So you get a little trim. But as far as up, we kind of need hair. That's essential. You want to be, red skin. As far as like the, she's not trying to offend anybody like that, but that may have came off but clearly but pushing forward, give them a gift according to their rising sign. That's a player tip right there, just in case they didn't know you were coming like that. You could get a regular gift, I thought you were this, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go abstract. So you're really giving a gift to the self, if you think about it, because this is only the reflection of like what I was thinking here. So like, man, I kind of want a beard or whatever. So I guess my higher self was like, well, just wait till the destiny clock hits Leo, and you're doing your thing. So give them that, and it's like personal. That's a very personal thing to do, to give them a gift according to their I would say moon sign, since the moon is conjunct Venus, but I wrote down like rising sign. But now that we're here, we'll say according to their moon sign. If you know them like that, and if you're having that type of conversation, but soon there's going to be a lot of the conversation. Visit your mom, your grandmother, see if she needs assistance around the house, or just simply some company of a kindred, because who doesn't value their mom? Who doesn't value their grandmother? And the reason I'm saying mother and grandmother, and I didn't like sister, because of the moon, and the moon is the mother and the nurturer. And they keep life going and they bring life here. And it's very essential that we value those people, because if we show that we actually value them, then they probably value themselves and value us back. We get out of the stagnation, man. So I would say hashtag value self overall in this here delineation, and have that death and rebirth with Pluto there. You can drive forward with the new you, to get those possessions that you seek in the second house. And I'll yield.
It's not. And they better know their moon sign.
Yeah, because that's your emotions.
So, you dealing with them, you better have a chart. It's long.
Sunday, February 27th, 2020, 5 minutes. 25 minutes.
You keep missing it, right? That's why brother Jack keep laughing, because you keep saying 2020 and I keep going 2.
Gotta add an ad-lib. That's teamwork. We're just it's showing teamwork while being in the midst of it all.
It's love.
We the backup singers just in case your mic go out, brother Benjamin.
Right?
Exactly.
If the engineer mess up, your mic go out, boom, we right there behind you. Like nothing even happened.
That happened to Kanye. He threw his microphone. I was thinking about when brother Hasan was on the live, maybe like last night or the other night. He was saying about Mercury shadow grave, or when we're on our phone and it'll like light up, we're not next to it, or it'll be like far away, or or it glitches. And Kanye West's microphone was going in and out. I may have said this to brother Hasan earlier or something, but I explained it to like apes, and that would make me think of that. And his energy probably was so high. He was like, yeah, and he was in water too. So like he was in water with a microphone, and he's a water being, and water and electricity ain't really
right.
They're not really conjunct. They're not like the moon and Venus. They're kind of like Mars and Saturn if you don't use it right. You kind of can be like someone from the Game of Thrones or SpongeBob character. So that's all.
Hilarious.
All how you want to play that. Speaking of Mars, moon conjunct Mars is what we're talking about here in the 12th house. And this means like suppressed feelings about your essentials. Why? Because the 12th house is things unseen, undoing. And a person like me, Mars in the 12th house, not trying to put a business out, but just trying to make it correlative. It's all a learning thing. So speaking from, I would say, an experience. So like whatever could trigger you, you probably could think on it, and it could be very transformative on an inner you. But then when it comes out, like in like 6th house to service someone, they'd be like, oh man, like, you're maybe like a totally different person as your moves go, but they don't know something triggered you inside to have that. that inner phoenix, you know, because like I said, right here is a perfect example. You could be a SpongeBob in the back cooking the patties for people, which is central food, things like that, transformation service. And looks like Cancer is right there. But that seems like bittersweet with Lillian. So he could be burning those joints up. We're not sure. He could be needing some help right there. Unseen help back there in the kitchen.
Sixth house really is the restaurant.
Yeah, he could be mad. Like, man, gosh, I wish I had some help. You know, and just transform death and rebirth thoughts about quitting the JLB or whatever. Like, man, I'm out of here. I'm changing my values. We're headed out the door, you know, type deal. But like we said, it's all a balancing act. And, you know, with it being Capricorn there and Saturn, so there's a reason why there's a restriction. So there's a learning process and a learning lesson here. And there's some anger there, but hey, you're gonna have to get over that and put your big boy and girl pants on and service doing what you love, because you want to be nurtured in this. Because that Cancer right there, you want to be service nurture, but in order to like get something, you have to give what you want type deal. And you ain't gonna always get that back. And you shouldn't want it back, you know what I'm saying? But you'll get it. Like what goes up will always come down here on Earth, you know? So I wrote that later on, but you know, that sparked that. So you'll hear me say it again, but that made me think of that as far as like giving energies go. And I'll give my testimony to the rise in courage, bravery, mentality, sharp as a tack, precise and forthgoing. Beware of how you put your foot on your Mars as you execute your goals and plans, so your intensive demonstration doesn't rub others the wrong way. Teamwork always makes the dream work unless the team sucks. The reason I say to make the team sucks because the communication and the transformation and the intensity. And that could be the sucking of the team. The communication could suck. You know, and that could be the bittersweet in the sixth house. You know, it could be the sucking of the team. You know, we could be the best that we want here, but if, you know, the team sucks, the team doesn't go anywhere.
They don't work together, huh?
Yeah. There'll always be a death in, like a running your mud tire. There's always a death and rebirth in the same place. You know, if you're not aware that your team sucks in certain areas, you know, for the whole. You know, you got to be able to take that bittersweet moment of caring and nurturing that you're being serviced in the sixth house of the 12th. It's like, hey, brother, you know, or sister, this may sting a little bit on the inside, but it's for the better of you, and in return to be the better for me, because, you know, we depend on one another. Not depend like that, but if I'm holding this part of the rope and you need to hold that one, we're both vital equal. So it's very apparent that you hold your end and I dang sure better hold mine. And I'll yield on that as far as, you know, the moon conjunct Mars in the 12th house. You know, just be careful how you...
Brother Benjamin.
What's up?
Can I add to your wisdom?
Siempre.
Indeed. So back in reference to your trigger delineation earlier about the triggers, it's like, so, how do I say this? So let's imagine we're all guns. Let's say we're all these, you know, so-called guns or weapons. Just because someone pulls a trigger, as long as we know what our triggers are, we'll be on lock, so there are no shots will pop off.
So that's knowing your natal chart.
Know your triggers, so can't nobody mess with you.
Yeah, and would your trigger be your natal chart?
Interesting.
That was yeah.
In other words, don't let anyone set you off is kind of what I do. At first, you know, I was on edge. I was like, we're all what? You know, at first I was right. However, I already knew Brother Sean's going to land his plane. He's quite the pilot. So it's all good. Like, yeah, I knew he was going to land his plane. So he's quite the pilot. Huh?
Like Denzel in that one movie, didn't he land it? It was a bumpy ride, but he got it down there.
Like, someone get Brother Sean's phone. Someone get his phone.
Yeah,
no, it's fine. It's fine. He's good. He's good. Okay. Yield on that for sure.
Silly, man. Brother Sean, you're a classic, yo.
Brother Sean's messages: let no one remove your safety.
Islam.
There we go. Boom.
I think Brother Sean is on his DJ Clue today, bringing in the bums and the accolades.
Don't worry.
Oh God.
Gonna kick me off Wednesdays.
Oh, to call upon.
It's an ode to call upon. That's a t-shirt right there. They were like, what
You're
is that?
banned from Wednesdays.
Y'all are hilarious, man. He's gonna be with us next Wednesday. Next, Raphael. And here we go.
Sunday, January 30th, 2022, 2300 hours, 43 minutes, 33 seconds. On the rise, we have Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars, but I would say traditionally ruled by Pluto.
It's going to be there soon. Right now, yeah, just because I got my bros back. It is coming soon, but it's
he probably did his locality.
Appreciate that.
Alabama.
Oh, that's right. You did your location from where you are.
Yeah, so I try to like write a vague statement of the actual aspect and put it in the house because the house has changed. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just whatever I have, I'll apply it to the house.
Got you. I see. Okay. I got you. Because where your location is. Because correct. Because I was saying that it's based on that. But however, I do know they did say that before. So indeed.
Yeah,
so
but
in that, you're actually showing the degrees of separation between locations, which is actually genius. So I yield. Islam.
Appreciate that. And we are here. Well, I was actually speaking on the Mars because I was saying the traditional ruler of Scorpio was Pluto. But then we said Mars was like, the modern ruler. So it was like, where's Mars? Third house in Capricorn.
Wait, we went back in time? We went back in time.
January 30th, 2020. Yeah, wow.
Serious?
Dang, yeah. Wait, yeah.
Okay, good.
I definitely read that. Extremely confident too.
Let's see.
Thank you, Brother Jack.
So hold on.
So it'd be the 28th.
Okay, that's actually excellent. That's that because you know what? I told you, bro, I have the transit with the moon, with opposite Chiron, right? So it's like I'm looking for every opportunity of how it's actually manifesting along with Mercury still finishing up his shadow. So it just manifested right there again and during a previous moon conjunct Pluto. You see what I'm saying? So it's like in looking at that, it's like, oh, this is amazing because I love when we do this. Like what Brother Sean said, we're just having each other's back and showing how this goes. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, thank you, like keep me on point because I did hit the previous button to keep up though, because Brother Sean was like, let's go back into to add to your wisdom. However, this is great. All right, so we're moving forward, and this year void of course here also. I yield.
Oh, oh yeah, here we go. Sunday, February 27th, 2022. 900 hours, 49 minutes, 18 seconds. On the ride, we have Taurus right there being ruled by Venus, sitting in or just going into the ninth house of higher learning. And we're here to speak about the moon conjunct Pluto. And the moon is in the ninth house. The ruler of that house is Jupiter. The moon is 27 degrees Capricorn, 44 minutes. And we're going to find Pluto right next to it. It's behind the moon. 27 degrees, Capricorn, 44 minutes, both in the house of higher learning and foreign travels. So it could be some feelings about the transformation in your whole just arena of how you look at, higher learning, which could be for the good because you're right here in the third reflecting that you have Cancer. So it has to be some type of home transformation in like how you, communicate within it. So when you're probably at home or how you nurture your thoughts of higher learning doesn't mean changing that. So they're going to be more home-based things. So you maybe want to find out who you really are. Could be coming across Noble Dry Elite, Capricorn, Aries, or Aquarius, but still Saturn. It's still essential. And he brought us something that is more than essential. I don't know if more than essential, but he brought us something that you can rip up and that you actually need. You ever tried to grab air and tear it up? Don't try. But I'm going to give testimony as an intense mental, emotional experience, intense mental / emotion experiences of death and rebirth in the mind to inherit new thoughts to yield good fruit from. How one truly feels internally will come to the surface to be thought when engaging communication. So what I'm saying basically is, let's say someone of higher learning than you or a teacher, because it's the ninth house, you could be trying to get your beans off, but they could be not trying to, see the temperature of your beans. And you end up throwing your whole pot of beans in their face. And you could be like, okay, I'm I'm gonna get a container and put the beans in for later. Maybe transform your mind that way. So just be careful when speaking to someone and trying to get quote unquote your point across. Kind of like looking at the 9 over here and the 6 over here. It's like where you are on your journey type deal and how y'all communicate that. From the heart, from the chest. Brother Hasan, it's like
in reflection, just thinking about how the theme we set this off of, ego gets us nowhere. You know what I mean? We can continue to be industrious and grow. To show the different, Mercury finishing up its transit within where it went, and where it is within the quote unquote shadow, right? Where goes retrograde, right, at 10 degrees, 20 minutes Aquarius, where it went retrograde. So it's going to get past that point. But we're experiencing these things that allows us to actually express the energy. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, here's an opportunity for the ego or whatever to not show itself. Hey, you made a mistake. Okay, this is great. Hey, brothers is being each other, brothers keeper live. You see what I'm saying? And I really think that is really amazing to actually occur because we set that tone and at the same time are able to practice what we actually set. Islam. So I yield on that. That was, I think, the void. I think that void was like 346. So if I'm not mistaken, and after that moon void course, I think the moon void course was 3 hours and 46 minutes. I know Brother Benjamin is making a transition to travel. Alrighty, so his next testimony will be for Luna ingressing Aquarius, and guys, to just clear up, as he was saying before, just to reverse it, the ancient ruler for Scorpio is Mars, and the contemporary co-ruler is Pluto. So to see even how close they are, even when Brother Benjamin was a couple testimonies ago on the separation, the degrees of separation pertaining to his location in interaspect to the Baltimore Corporation. It's like very amazing to see how these things play out, even as we're sharing them with you all. So I trust not only you get what we get from the testimony as we're going on, however, also it's like what Brother Sean posted, that Kobe Bryant, don't look at the what we're doing, look at the how we're doing it, so to speak, so that, because this is about, at the end of the day, community, and that community is communication unity. It's a compound term, and it's made up of communication unity. With that, I yield the floor to you, beloved Brother Benjamin Bey, Islam.
Currently I'm like actually behind the wheel, but
Got you.
You could just read I guess I could do a sun sextile Uranus as far as like the date, and I can read like what I actually have as far as my testimony, since I can't look at the actual chart.
Oh, no. This is your Luna. You're finishing up your 3 hour, 46 minute void of course. And now Luna is ingressing Aquarius in the 7th house. Luna in Aquarius in the 7th house.
Aquarius in a second. How is this for
7?
7? For Moon conjunct the Pluto?
I think you already did. You already got into the Moon conjunct Pluto already. That's what you were going over, if I'm not mistaken.
Are we on Wednesday now?
Now we're finishing up Sunday. Your last portion in Sunday is Luna in Aquarius. It's ingressing Aquarius, 0 degrees Aquarius, 0 minutes in the 7th house.
Dang, I don't think I wrote that down.
Well, you can freestyle a numeric code off the top of your head.
It was like home gains and hopes and friends. You said 11th house? 7th house. Oh, so home relating gains and friends. That's correct. All right, cool. So we're talking about Luna in the 7th house. So home, your relationships how are your relationships? How are you going to relate to those at home, and how are you going to gain from that? So I guess home teamwork, or with your kindred. Sounds like the Moor is coming together. Like you know, or like us as brothers, how are we going to come together from our locations and gain, you know, from the internet, or however, whatever like stream of thought we want to. I also think, you know, how are you and your loved ones going to come together and expand through networking? Yeah, through internet working. So that could be with us brothers, or you know, mothers, or if you have a business, but those who you relate to. But I say home because it's the moon, so it would be your family or your kindred. So how are you and your kindred going to work together? And I'll yield if anybody has anything else.
Oh, indeed, that was excellent. We're going to go in now. I have the 28th, so we're going to go for the next sunrise. Beloved brother, I appreciate you while you're traveling. Getting to the next one here. Looking for the moon conjunct the ascendant for the next day.
Can't stop, won't stop. I'm telling you on the way.
Indeed. So for the final day here for the month pertaining to February, according to the Gregorian calendar, we have here for the Constantinian Crusade Claw Adjustment 2022. However, we know it's still technically 1441 if we just, you know, when we're really thinking about the vernal equinox. But, you know, some people will still go with Al-Hijri or Al-Hijra and the lunar calendar and still say it's 1442. However, there are many different, you know, calendars that are there. However, for Monday, 28th February, 2022 at 0644 minutes and 55 seconds thereafter, we have the sun conjunct the ascendant, also known as sunrise at 9 degrees 51 minutes. And let me make sure, is this prior? Oh no, this is the one time I can leave it on next and not put up the transit from a million years ago. No, I'm kidding. And moving forward, we have Luna squaring Uranus. Luna and Uranus are at a 90-degree aspect to one another, a quartile aspect to one another. And it should be at 0849 minutes and 46 seconds thereafter for 28th February 2022. And that is Luna Day. Alrighty, so it's the day pertaining to the moon during this Jupiter hour. Alrighty, so we have Luna here, 11 degrees, Aquarius, 32 minutes. Alrighty, it's in the 10th house, of course, in the 25th lunar mansion. And we also have Uranus. We have Uranus, which rules Aquarius, which is technically, you know, ruling the 11th house. Even though Luna is there, we will still credit, if we check the 7th house here, 8th, 9th, 10th house, right? 17 degrees Capricorn, 43 minutes. So technically Saturn, you know, having a rulership score, of course, with 5 there. However, it's in its own triplicity too. So it's got a +8, very strong, along with Jupiter, both of them being the strongest in their charts, in this chart here. Saturn ruling over the 10th and the 11th house. So really, we're looking at Uranus here with Venus, which is also there in Capricorn, ruling over this Uranus here. You know, so we're looking at, you know, kind of with a final dispositor's eye. Saturn is, you know, doing its thing actually there at 18 degrees Aquarius, 45 minutes. One would give just a brief testimony for Luna, you know, righty, in a quartile aspect to Uranus. Again, if we just basically use a numerical delineation of 411, 10, 25 for the 25th lunar mansion, quartile, 90-degree aspect to 11 to first and fourth, all righty, first house, fourth lunar mansion, where Uranus is. It's interesting because the moon is near Neptune's south node, so that was kind of pretty interesting. It makes me think of things from the past pertaining to Neptune, maybe collectively, because Neptune answers the question, who's the collective? Who is the collective? All righty, so when it comes to that pineal activation from the past, that south node, right? Because Neptune does the pineal, right? Gland, so to speak, as some people would, you know, read in your studies. According to my studies thus far, that's what I have discovered. So in moving forward, though, you know, just really seeing we're able to really bring home the things that, you know, we can, you know, if there's some things that are nagging us possibly, or, you know, a little difficult to deal with, what we're going to be able to do is allow ourselves to really discipline our emotions and find the value in actively transforming how we actually marry or bring into matrimony the dictates of our soul, right? Really find that vestial, virginal kind of way of doing it with Vesta there. Again, if we just, look at it again, if we just do a vestial way of not prostituting our values, actively transforming the way we bring together within ourselves and a matrimonial obligation within oneself to make that subconscious, right? So what you just saw me do, just go in, delineate testimonial form from Vesta to the moon, ending with the subconscious mind, being able to, pour out that which is necessary pertaining to its status and its standing, so one can be able to be firm in things that may try to, make sudden changes within oneself. So your values will be firm in that, so you will be heard. That's kind of what I give this title to this. I didn't go into Mercury. However, it's a you will be heard fashion. You will be able to collectively, the energy of being able to transform the collective opinion, seeing as though that the collective will try to challenge who you are. However, look what you got behind you. You got from the Virgin, because this is just this pure energy. When you think in Vesta, you think in the Vestial Virgins, the opposite of that is just prostituting yourself. So now you have this pure or this chaste value and actively transforming the way you have brought matrimony in within yourself, higher self and lower self, thus allowing your dictates of your soul, subconscious mind to pour out that information necessary to overcome the obstacles and sudden changes dealing with your active self and how you are bringing yourself as far as your presentation is concerned. So, you can do that with building with Uranus being there in the architecture degrees from 10 degrees to 12 degrees. Taurus is architecture, according to an Encyclopedia of Astrology by Nicholas DeVore. And experimental scientists, our favorite degree that we all love to speak about with the experimental scientists. So we all know that that's what we are. With Brother Regulus Time Sar Bey at the forefront. Just kidding. Shout out to brother Corey Bey, President Brother Corey Bey. You know what I mean? As far as just, really just looking at that experimental scientist energy, we all embody that, and everyone collectively is embodying that also. We're finding gains from our imagination and being innovative with that, even though imagination normally would pertain to a Jupiterian quality and a Piscean quality and 12th house quality. Naturally, however, we can also see those things happen when we have these innovations from knowledge poured out. Alrighty, so we're able to reach our destiny and go forward in our career. Thus, the part of spirit being there also, right? Very interesting with sharing the first house with Uranus. And then moving forward, my next testimony will be Lunar's going to conjunct that Mercury, right? So speaking briefly about Mercury in this testimony, just did that there. Let's turn the aspect now to 0 degrees. All right. And now with Luna conjunct Mercury, again, now we have this numerical 4 and 3 6 11 6 25th. All right. Now again, the 25th lunar mansion is good for sieges, seeking fights, according to the Gaia Talakim. All righty. Some call it the Pikatrix, right? So, we're not looking to do that. So the only, if you're looking for, good for sieges, seeking a fight, revenge on enemies, good for safety and travel, but causes delays, also good for fortifying buildings. So these are some things that are happening within, right? And, if there is someone seeking to challenge you or things of that nature, you can just completely, remove yourself from that, situation. We have got quoted, from Prophet Noble Drew Ali, quoting in Old Statements of Prophecy, that's if you can get away from a fight, drop the world on them. And sometimes the world is the truth, even though some people, world is, old age or the old age of things. You're going to check the etymology of the term world and just kind of see what you get and look at it also in a law dictionary also. However, in moving forward with that, just find yourself being able to, conquer your lower self, keep your lower self intact so that you can be able to fortify yourself also and be able to move forward so that you can be able to take on the treasures that await you in times to come. You got to be a good steward of those things, and you can't do it being one who cannot defend themselves in a intelligent fashion. Alrighty, so with Luna conjunct Mercury here, of course, like I was saying in the 6th house, Mercury is having its favor in the 6th, and it doesn't do too bad in Aquarius either. And then we go and check the essential dignities of it. It has a +1, where the moon has a -5 peregrine, not having any dignity whatsoever. So, it just goes to show that even right here, there's just an assistance in the subconscious mind and the thinking. So you can be able to serve yourself better in being able to, instead of looking at it as a fight or conquering yourself in that fashion, just be able to see it as you're able to neutralize things that don't benefit you. And now you're able to really see that in a valuable fashion where now you can cut away those ungainly parts from your character. Beautiful character building aspect here. All righty. For the moon and Mercury are, basically between 15 degrees Aquarius, which is the humanity center, the center of humanity, the angel point. There was a solar eclipse there too. When you go back and think of those violent times, is an eclipse the 5th of February, 1943, and 17 degrees Aquarius is the state pertaining to air and gases, right? So make sure you're not leaving the stove on. You've got a natural gas, range or something. If you're dealing with some propane or whatever, make sure, the propane is turned off. Make sure nothing's puddling, because propane's specific density is heavier than air. So it's not like natural gas, who has a much lower specific density pertaining to the atmosphere. So it will dissipate in the air, whereas propane will puddle in a corner. All righty. So you want to make sure that what you're doing when you're doing these things, make sure you're just dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and making sure everything is off, especially in restaurants, guys. Make sure you turn off those fryers. All right. You don't even want to leave it on. You're fixing, taking the oil out and leave it on, leave the fryer on or something like that. So we'll just really say, just make sure that we are being very wise in how we are, at home, communicating how we're serving one another for the collective purposes in order to healthily gain a friendly exchange in conquering our own thoughts within ourselves in order to have a proper engagement with others in society. So let's go, let's get along. Let's discipline ourselves, get along, right? Happening so close to Pisces too, the self-discipline sign, right? So moving forward, we have, for my final testimony, Luna conjunct Saturn. All right, and that's taking place about 2105 seconds thereafter, 2100 minutes and 55 seconds thereafter. All righty. And we have that happening actually within the 4th house, guys. If we're, if not mistaken, it's happening in the 4th house. Let's double check, right? So here's the 4th house at, Capricorn, and then Aquarius has the 5th house, right, at 23 degrees. Aquarius, 57 minutes. 18 degrees is much less than 23, so it's all happening within the 4th house. So now Luna has its accidental dignity in the 4th, while Saturn doesn't do too great. It has like an accidental debilitation there in the 4th. However, it's still king there, and in Aquarius, still having a +5 in its score. All righty, and Luna still apparently peregrine here. However, I would still give it, just a little bit of help in lessening that -5 for it being in accidental dignity in the 4th. However, let's get this together. This is just like, Cancer energy and Capricorn energy, right? But it's all happening in Aquarius. So, we're bringing those home essential things. All righty. So we're looking at the home essential things. 18 degrees is explosives. 19 degrees Aquarius is the back. And of course, they're both at 18 degrees, 49 minutes. So it's well into going into the 19th degree. However, explosives and the back. 18 degrees is explosiveness, and 19 degrees is the back. So when it comes to home and things, again, it just again, make sure you guys are turning things off. Make sure, heaters, things like that. Like I said, when it comes to gas and things like that, guys, make sure you're, just double check in, making sure those things are solid. However, it's just what's going on in the 4th house also. Right? This one always, this is the lot of, goodness gracious, I do that every time when I come to the one with Mercury.
Necessity.
Yes, necessity. Again, I always do that with Mercury. I get all the other ones. It's like from the Mercury, it's like necessity, right? So what's necessary in being chasing the values and actively, turning your enemies into your footstool by transforming that energy so that you can be able again to, have the as above and so below work in your favor so that you can be able to walk in a disciplined, you know, really in a disciplined motion, right? So because the moon is always forever moving, so, and it's quick moving. So with all of that happening in the fourth house, and just kind of giving the keywords there for those, just guys, allow yourselves to make sure you're double checking everything. Measure twice, cut once, or measure thrice, cut once. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Terrell Tamari Bey. Islam.
All righty. So we're going to the 20. Oh no, we're not going to the 29th of anything.
Pardon me. Yeah.
I almost lied. We're going to March 1st, or the 1st of March, 2022, whatever. All right. Sunrise is at 0643 minutes, 28 seconds.
Oh, and pardon me. That void, of course, if I'm not mistaken, was 18 hours, right? I think it was 18 hours, or hold on, 50. Yeah. I think that's correct. Yeah, 18 hours and like 53 minutes, something like that. Like 18 hours, 53 minutes, something like that. If I'm not mistaken. That was a void, of course, because it's not, did I got that correct? Yeah, exactly. Pardon me. Didn't mean to interrupt, beloved brother.
No, I was checking the void. But yeah, I only got one aspect here. We're going to look at the moon ingress into Pisces, right, at 1553. That's all that's going down on Tuesday, right? The moon's in the 7th, right, at 1553. Yeah, moon's in the 7th, Leo on the rise, sun's in the 8th again. Oh, interesting. The sun and Uranus got their little thing going on. Yeah, so this would just be a great time for, doing the unusual. Like I said earlier, really just getting out of your comfort zone. Possibly go to that restaurant that that's close to you locally that you always wanted to go to, but you never went because you don't like that quote unquote cultural, that culture's food or whatever. However, you'll surprise yourself. You'll be surprised. So again, do something different. Get out of your comfort zone. But don't be around energies you really don't want to be around. Really consider that. Consider your value system and what you want in your life versus what you don't want. Right? Like Brother Benjamin was saying earlier, just basically don't remove the dystopia or the things that's not beneficial for you, so you can get to the utopia and it's more beneficial there, right? So yeah, utopia, euphoria.
Take off those rose-colored glasses, as Brother Jag was saying.
Islam. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Take off those rose-colored glasses. I took mine off. Hey yo. Yo, I took mine off. It was like, yo, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina? Interesting.
Yeah.
That. Wow, and they just hung up. Okay. All righty. But yeah, utopia, euphoria, Atreyu.
Right.
I yield. Be yourself here. Okay, seriously. Don't settle. Know it. Know that you are love. Embody the love that you are. And don't, succumb to your carnal self, your lower self. everything that harms. Remove that from your whole paradigm. Islam. I yield the floor to you, Brother Benjamin. It's so funny, yo, because you and Brother Sean literally are doing the same thing. Like last time, Brother Sean was traveling when he was finishing his testimonies. And look.
Rain, sleet, or snow, We're showing that, it's a balance, guys. No excuses, guys.
Islam. That's a checkmate. That's a checkmate, yo.
Oh, but I gotta. It's like, but
I got
brothers too. But you got your brothers. Oh,
he
yeah,
said, no, that's the brother. That's the brother Hasan. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure,
Man.
Sounds like hearsay.
Which is inadmissible in court. Hearsay evidence is inadmissible in court. Most of the time, 90% of things is hearsay evidence, actually.
Indeed.
If not 99% of the time. However, here's your sunrise, beloved brother, and then I have your next transit set.
All right. If you don't mind reading the sunrise for me, I have my paper here.
Gotcha.
For Wednesday, and I want to be correct. Would be Wednesday, March 2nd, the new moon in Pisces.
Islam.
Yep, the new moon in Pisces. Yep, that'll occur at 12:35. I think that's your fourth testimony. So your sunrise is 0641 minutes and 59 seconds thereafter at 11 degrees 52 minutes. All righty, and your first testimony, Brother Benjamin, at 0:05 minutes thereafter is the sun. Absolutely. Do your thing, beloved brother. Islam.
Sun sextile in Uranus. Not sure where the sun is located just yet. But giving my testimony to a creative harmony in sudden awakened moment, sudden intuitive strategies when it comes to creativity. The tag rebel may be the description of your new electric approach to life lessons that ultimately elevate the inner consciousness.
Hold on 1 second. It's going out there just a little bit. Yeah, they got you sounding like Joe Digital. Stutter. But you're telling the truth. I can tell you the truth.
Fight for injustice. I did. That's what tell you the truth, never the truth. Yeah, showing his testimony here. Standing up for those who can't be seen or heard. Fight for the injustice bestowed upon them. Hashtag creative stimulation. And I said the last part about standing up for those.
Yeah, man. We got you doing it again. I hear you stuttering. Let me stop.
We can't hear you, bro. We can't hear you. You the digital water.
Digital water.
Say like the sun is like, where's the sun? Where's the sun?
Fourth house
That's
is the
what I
sun. Sixth house is Uranus.
We good now? Are we trying to get down?
4 and 6. Sun and Uranus. Woo! That
home and career.
4 and 6.
So home and career. Everybody hearing me say home and career?
Well, 4 and 6. 6.
I don't know why I'm thinking 10th house. Home and services. Apologies, everyone. I don't know why I kept saying career. Maybe because I'm headed to the job or whatever. But we get home and services. So once again, the sun in the 6th house?
Sun in the 4th, Uranus in the 6th.
Uranus in the 6th. All right. So helping from the home, shining light on the home. That could be like some type of father figure. Or we'll say the government, because government starts with family. So once again, we were talking about like the moon in the 7th house or going into the 7th house in Aquarius. This is kind of like that, bringing light and putting together or coming together as like one soul servicing, a sudden awakening. It's like, oh, I got this idea. Like, let's head over to, Walmart or somewhere to get some supplies, to further help those who are in need.
type deal, and they don't like know they need help, but you know they're gonna get service anyway. And that's kind of like a Piscean thing, you know, going into like, you know, an orphanage institution and adopting everybody. You know, that doesn't really happen, but that's like a Uranian service thing. It's like, okay, everybody come on, you know, that type of deal. But that's why it says standing up for those who can't be seen or heard. You know, and the sun wants to service, and the sun services everybody when it rises. And you know, if you stand in place too long, you're gonna get burned. So make sure that you're in motion with what you're doing, so you're not just, you know, stagnating what you're doing. And I'll yield for the sun sextile year for that. Or if I'm slide around, whatever.
It's okay. I know once you get settled, it'll get clear. They just kind of digital you up, but it's all good. Your next testimony will be for Mercury conjunct Saturn, and that is taking place in Aquarius in the 5th house at 2 degrees 41 minutes. Let's make sure I got that correct again. Mercury and Saturn conjunct.
No. We went back to the future.
So again?
I mean, back to the past.
Pardon me. Mercury conjunct Saturn, 18 degrees Aquarius, 59 minutes within the 9th house. Mercury conjunct Saturn, 18 degrees Aquarius, 59 minutes in the 9th house. Right? Yeah. That's what I had it on previous, didn't I? That's the only thing about going back and forth from previous to next, clicking the button. It's all good though. We you know what your testimony is for though. Again, I yield. It's happening at 11:32 26 seconds. I yield.
Islam, heard that. So we're talking about the 5th house of creativity and the 9th house of higher learning and foreign institutions. Oh, not foreign institutions. We'll just say foreign lands. Giving testimony to Mercury conjunct Saturn to increase in focus and determination to carry out any unfinished task, or the poise to focus on a beginning or focusing on a new beginning one, on beginning a new one. The exercise of practical thinking while dealing in long-term tasks and disciplined mind to see the vision through completion. Stagnation in the want of things. Don't toss your phone into the sand when things don't seem to be going in your direction. But what goes up must come down on this earth, so likely it will come back to you. So be Odell when receiving that energy that you put out. So, you know what I'm saying? Be ready for, you know, that quote unquote bliss, you know, like you said, the law of, you know, retraction, like a boomerang. Good, quote unquote, bad, quote unquote, always coming back to you.
I said when you said be Odell, in other words, because he's a wide receiver, so get ready to receive. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So be Odell, you know, while, you know, the ball is in the air, quote unquote, because he's back there receiving it. But it's like a safety type deal. But as far as like Mars and Saturn, that's a restricted route.
That goes to show you how much I don't watch that sport. Okay, great. Odell Beckham's a safety. Great.
No, he's not a safety. He's not a safety. No, but the
he's a wide receiver.
Yeah, you're right. But the play
I was right the whole time. Wow, that's what I thought, because I was just going off of what you were saying, even though I don't watch a lick of football, man.
Yeah. Wide receiver catching the ball. So the strategy would be to play or what you're doing. But if you give up on the route, the ball hits the ground. So you're like, oh man, I had it. But if you would have kept going or kept your Mars and your Saturn disciplined while they're, you know, conjunct, and you didn't just run the route crazy or didn't give your all, or felt like the quarterback or your teacher wasn't giving you enough attention, so you didn't give your all, as in, you know what I'm saying, learning and, you know what I'm saying, giving what you've been taught. You know, so everyone wants you to make the play. People want to see you win, but you gotta want to see yourself win. So balance, you know, the energy to want to do something with your will and the quote unquote frustrations of it not happening right now, with Saturn being, you know, next to it. And I'll yield on that as far as like reading my testimony and then giving like a little backstory on why I wrote it. But everybody else want to chime in, you know. We're a team. Yeah.
Well, I'm straight on it, bro. I mean, you're doing excellent. And your next testimony is Luna sextiling Uranus. Let me make sure I'm right. Wednesday, March 20. Okay, good. We're not in the future or too far in the past. 11:42 minutes, 22 seconds, just about, you know, roughly 9 minutes later. All righty. And you have Luna sextile to Uranus. Luna is in Pisces at 11 degrees Pisces, 36 minutes within the 10th house. And Uranus, of course, is in the 11th house. So it has accidental dignity at 11 degrees. You know, it's always partile. So 11 degrees Taurus, 36 minutes. So they're both at 11:36. Pisces and Taurus, Moon and Uranus, 10 and 11 are the houses. I yield the floor, beloved brothers. Huh?
Islam. So we're talking about career and gains and networking. So 10th and 11th house, the moon would be in the 10th, and then for Uranus, Uranus will be in the 11th, and giving testimony to the gain in new ideas, opportunity to be in the company of others to spark those ideas already existing deep in the psyche, a detachment from the mundane and how the society views the world, change in dealing with your mother or close person of comfort, an opportunity to embark on new ways of interacting through meditation. One can receive sudden messages pertaining to what is truly and sincerely on the heart. So I know we're talking about like career and then gaining, and then I'll talk about, changing things to your mother and things of that nature. But the reason I'm saying that because the moon is the mother, and then Uranus change. And so, that relationship is vital, if you ask me. And once you go out into the world and that relationship isn't what it needs to be, and you yourself, within yourself, isn't balancing those feelings, that could eradicate what you're trying to do to be, to have some type of career and to interact with others, within the group or the association. So the 11th house. So overall, just with this energy of moon sextiling Uranus, take advantage of those opportunities to have a sudden awakening and change to, involve yourself, to help your career and then possibly help your group that you're containing to as well. I'm not saying your group has to be connected to your career, but at this point where the planets are, with your actual body being in the career house, just make sure that any eradicated things that come out on left field that you gain from that. You gain the wisdom from those things that seem to be quote unquote out of pocket or just suddenly happen. Because everything's a lesson and there's no stressing in that. And I'll yield. Could y'all hear me? Because my phone 20%.
No, you're great. You're great.
Yeah. But I'll yield on that. Just balance. Come on, my man. Do your thing. It's a huge truck. Balance. I got a balance right here. Balance the sudden changes that currently happen to you, within your career, and that don't mess up with you and your friends and the ones that you gain from. Because if you mess up the things in your career, you can't help nobody. You can't network. So I yield on that.
All righty. Your next aspect is a soul. It's a solar lunar conjunction. All right. You have the solar lunar conjunction, a new moon at 12 degrees Pisces, 7 minutes in the 9th house. Solar lunar conjunction, new moon that is at 12 degrees Pisces, 7th house, happening on the 2nd March 2022, which is a Ilowa Raphael Wednesday at 1234 minutes and 36 seconds thereafter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. That's 3 and 6 is 9, right? Look at that.
One moment, brother son. I'm gonna run over here right quick and tell my manager I have 2 more delineations, and then I'm gonna come back. It'd be maybe
that's up to you. If not, if we need to finish out, you let us know. We got you.
Oh, she's right. I'm sure she won't mind. But she's looking at me, and I got this paper in my hand, my phone in my face, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, maybe a few minutes late, but yeah, I'm gonna be like, I got 2 more. Yeah, but it's solid. It's solid.
It gets no liver than this, guys, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just be like, I got 2 more. Just trying to help my brothers, but I yield. I'll be back. So.
All right, so guys, while he's doing that, guys, I guess what I could do is just briefly go into it because he does only have 2 left. He has the Sun conjunct Moon at 12:35, and roughly, as you guys can see, it's 12:34, 36. And then the Luna will, after that, Luna will be conjunct Jupiter, right? Looky, Astro Cookie. However, even right here, we just have the part of victory there also, right? Because I noticed some unique things with the Arabic parts or the lots, as you say, and a lot of times when you just see these solar lunar conjunctions or sun conjunct angles, either 1st or 7th, or the relationships of the moon, it's just really good to see how dependent all the Arabic parts or the lots formulas are really dependent on those things, and you just get to see where certain things are. And look at how the different lots are, in certain places conjunct what they actually are the lot to. It's always very interesting to see. However, with that being said, it doesn't necessarily work, obviously, with nemesis and necessity, obviously, because they, even though they do kind of, sort of ish, but really, it's each lot kind of has its like counterbalancer, so to speak, when really analyzing that things and you're doing something like zodiacal releasing, of course, and in other ways they'll use it also. However, diverse ways of using it. I yield to you, Brother Benjamin. Islam.
We're speaking about the sun conjunct the moon.
Yes, at 12 degrees Pisces, 7 minutes in the 9th house.
Islam. All right. Giving testimony to a harmonious moment to appreciate the inner mind and ego as a union instead of two separate things, or the blending of the consciousness and the subconscious. Taking full accountability and ownership of both to start a new project or a higher learning project here in the 9th house of foreign travels, or you could be taking, a trip to somewhere new, things of that nature. Attention to the home, because the moon's there. So you could be traveling to find a new home somewhere, close friendships and with women, because, who doesn't like women? With women with the sun shining light on the lot areas of life that need sincere nurturing. So you could be traveling from your regular neighborhood, to somewhere far to get a clearer vision of like your thoughts. How you like stagnation, like, man, I need to take a walk. But this time you're going to take more than a walk because you need, something other to take your mind off, things that are mundane or things that are, not really entertaining to you, because the 3rd house seems pretty empty to me. So it seems like all of the energy is like foreign. You're definitely not where you need to be, where you are. So you could be with your friends, but inside you could be like somewhere else. Your mind and your body could be on the inside, even though your body is like on the outside. All of that could be reflecting on the inside while you're with your people. And you could be in a foreign place in your mind while amongst, your peers. So make sure that you're in a nurturing place while within, with the sun and the moon being conjunct. And I'll yield on that. If anyone wants to add a little salvation.
And your final aspect, pardon me, thank you, beloved brother. Your final aspect is Luna conjunct Jupiter. So you have a Luna Jupiterian conjunction here at 14 degrees Pisces, 19 minutes in the 7th house, actually. All right, again, Luna Jupiterian conjunction, 14 degrees Pisces, 19 minutes in the 7th house. I yield the floor, beloved brother.
Islam. So we'll have a higher learning and then institutions and relationships as far as the numeric code for Jupiter. And then we'll go that conjunction with like a hug. You have the moon, home, Pisces, spirituality or breathing or institutions and relationships. And that's the numeric code for the moon. I'll give testimony to an opportunity to do things that are enjoyable to the mind, like, a drama book or YouTube search on life of foreign things. And this will be from my location because the moon will like being like the 9th house. But let's say you're going to YouTube relationships. It just was quote unquote Valentine's Day. You didn't have a significant other. So your mind could be wanting to expand on that, on some type of lover. You want to expand on relating to someone, within some type of institution. And that institution could be Tinder, because, we're going to deal with like, I guess, modern dating things, or how you would meet someone, whenever pushes up on a female and gives her, who he actually is. You kind of give her the Twitter fingers and hope all is well. But moving along, expanding the mind to things outside of your everyday mind usage, like finding a new way to approach higher learning. Once again, I was speaking from the 9th house. So now you will find new ways to approach, a significant other, whether it be male or female, and that's a type of higher learning, because you're learning someone else. That's you, but it's another part of yourself that you're learning. And hopefully you're learning their higher self tendencies and not their lower self tendencies. The attraction nature of the moon conjunct Jupiter will bring material things or certain events that could possibly get an expansion from on a more broader view of something you once looked at with surface thinking instead of beyond what we presented. So what Benjamin was trying to write there, like with Jupiter, with the moon conjunct Jupiter, and while relating to someone, don't just look, oh man, she's fine. I can see her. I could be with her, man. She got the same shoes I got. Look beyond that. Like, you know, like Jupiter is like expansion, but you don't want to like expand too much that you're looking over like she, you know, eats coffee grinds. I know that's kind of wild, but that's not really great. You're like, oh, you cool and all, but you really eat coffee grinds with a spoon. That can't be too good, you know. And that's something that was probably blatantly there because it's like, who was gonna miss somebody eating coffee grinds with a spoon? But you were so infatuated and expanded in the mind, and Jupiter and the moon were hugging so much. You were like, you know what? I could just love to smell her hair. But you can't smell the coffee grind she's just munching on. It's like, and her teeth are all just stained or whatever. And, you know, you don't want to go off the looks, but you want to make sure that things are in harmony. And, you know, long story short, you know, don't judge a book by its cover, you know. Always want to digress things and vet things. When the moon and Jupiter are hugging. And when in doubt, put on a movie and expand your mind that way and stay in one spot. Because your mind can't move, your body don't move. So yeah. So when relating to someone, don't overindulge and don't just look at, you know, what you first see. You know, try to look at the higher mind and expand on that. And I'll yield there.
Fix not suddenly. That's what brother Benjamin just told you.
Appreciate that, brother Jack.
Fix not suddenly. Just
yeah. Don't trust a big button to smile. While relating.
Seriously, he's serious. He is serious. Yeah.
Poison. All right, anyway.
What's that? Beware of all the allurements of wantonness. That's chapter 20.
Yeah. Chapter 20 is that's really the best thing for all sons, all brothers, all men, all mine. Really. Chapter 20 is love. 20 and 21. Definitely 20. All right.
I'm ahead inside though.
Islam.
Thank you so much, beloved brother. Islam, peace and love. You enjoy yourself.
Conversation, bro.
Thanks for having me. Sure.
Be cool.
Indeed.
I'm still here, dog.
Oh my God.
Brother Sean in the house.
I'll bring in Brother Sean. Well, Brother Sean, are you able to come in or you
here, dog.
No, man, I just had y'all playing. I'm here. I had y'all playing in the background. Too much going on.
All right, cool. Well,
I just had to pop in, man, Mr. Jack, real quick.
Yeah, hilarious.
Islam, bros. I yield, bros. Y'all with the rest of your degree.
You do, bro.
So we're going to do this just real quick. You know what I mean? Go and sit here and do what we need to do for ourselves, guys. Let me just take it on over to 7hillstar.com, guys. Why do we do this? Community service. And I got some more, you know, I'm going to be doing some, putting some new pictures soon. So I know when we go and set up our emails and things, you know, but I've been fasting for, you know, all day. So, you know, sun's going down. I don't know why, man. It's like I'm having a natural Ramadan within myself. So, you know, once I finish this or whatever, I'm going to go and get something to eat, and then we're going to go and I'm going to do some editing and send out these emails to you guys. So you can see what we got here, guys. I'm going to 7hillstar.com. Don't forget, you guys can always cast your natal chart there. You know, I know, yes, we would love for you to schedule your sessions with us. Some people, you know, may want to cast their chart. So, you know, we have it here on 7hillstar.com where you can come and use the 7hillstar alrighty trademark natal chart calculator courtesy of Astro Charts. Alrighty. So if you guys go any further than casting your chart and you go deeper into the service of that chart calculator or whatever, you're no longer dealing with 7hillstar. I'm just providing so you can get your chart that way, provided you wanted to have a means to calculate charts freely. 7hillstar.com is where you can come and do that. Also, guys, our calendar is up. The new new sun cycles calendar is up again. This is for this 7hillstar Astro calendar, March Aries 2022 to February Pisces 2023. Again, it's just a PDF, guys, and it is 36 units in lieu of lawful money for the Elemosynary tuition to receive it. As you guys saw, we was going over it. So you guys can order it. Of course, it's our landing page, but how you complete the transaction is we'll have a brief full disclosure conversation in where we will go over the Cash App transaction that's there. If there's another means of transacting your Elemosynary tuition for the calendar, we will be able to disclose that also within the conversation. So with that being said, guys, going to go on back here. Remember, we're going to post that up. You guys want to go back and check out what we did last cycle, last Wednesday up to now. Alrighty. you can see what we had put there for our astro weather report from the 17th to the 23rd, and we just completed the 24th to the 2nd. All right, 24th February to the 2nd March. All right. So that's what we have going on here. So, and I think I need to possibly edit our title. I think I'm not made a mistake for 2023 in our title instead of 2022, or maybe I did. Maybe I did March and then put 2023. But I'll double check. However, with that being said, guys, let's go here to Moor and About Us page. You know, when you first go to 7heelstar.com, guys, of course, you saw me just exit out of it. But guys, subscribe to our email list so you can get these lovely gems that we send out every cycle. Usually you'll get an email from us between Thursday and Saturday. It could be 1 and or 2, but it's normally no more than 2 emails between Thursday and Saturday for us. All righty. You can check out who we are. You guys are just learning about 7heelstar.com. You want to know who the brothers in their fezzes are and their national headdress being themselves here at the North Gate, cosmologically speaking, pertaining to Amexum, which is the land here, anciently speaking. All righty. And you can go out, you can actually see, and all our links are clickable. You can read up on us. That is myself, Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey. And you can also check up on Brother Corey Bey, also our Astro Core wellness astrologer, who also has wellness coaching podcasts, also chopping it up with brothers Corey and Malik Bey. Check that out. All the buttons are active and the links are open. You can also reach Brother Corey directly, alrighty, to make your scheduled sessions with him via the direct message at Instagram. Brother Terrell Tamari Bey, as you've seen with us here for the Jaguar Solar Activities astrologer that he is. When you go and get your astrology AstroLiteracy session through him, and you can schedule that there also. Check the weather now because he's here as always on the 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report, and you can get in contact with him directly via Instagram also. Brother Sean Alim, providing the mental magician report. And for those out there, you know, the mental magician is just Mercury, and we're working on transmuting that Mercury energy so you can use it for your higher self instead of your lower self. All righty. And you can check out that report. You can actually see the one that he did for Kendrick Lamar, and he's going to have one, I think, up also for Dr. Dre. I think he said he's going to put up, so I'm just waiting on that one also. So you can see the sample for Kendrick Lamar right there. All righty. And of course, he's one half of the Intuition Monday Global Delineations reporter team. Right. And you can get in contact with him via Instagram also. All righty. At 720 Astral Healing. And you can click on that link there as well. Brother Benjamin Bey, who just finished up a marvelous 13 transit testimony throughout the 24th February 2022 to March 2nd, 2022. Right. So he is the Holy Degree Impromptu Improv Astrologist, where you see Brother Benjamin also the most. Sometimes, you know, Brother Benjamin may also have to, you know, travel as that's concerned. But usually that's what it is, man. We enjoy doing our impromptu improv on Fridays. And this Friday, you know what I'm saying? So far, so good. We have our beloved brother, whom we're well pleased, Cujo Adwell L, who is Grand Sheik, right? For the Moor Science Temple of America Subordinate Temple number 19 at Canaan Land near the Toronto Corporation. All right. So we will have Brother Cujo on with us for the impromptu improv on Friday. And Intuition Monday Global Delineation Reporter Brother Benjamin is also. So embrace the intuition, right? You can check out different links there. Also see what happens when you click them, guys. And you can also contact Brother Benjamin Bey directly by directly messaging him via Instagram. Also, you guys want to, you know, I know I left my, you know, bio short at the top or whatever, and all of ours are pretty short, but you can learn about it as you click the links. But also some added treats at the bottom that'll load to you guys. Let that load there. It's just, you know, extended bio as far as why I'm doing what I'm doing. All righty. And why 7 Heel Star does what it does. All righty. So guys, go and explore the rest of that for yourself. We are 7heelstar.com astrology certified astrologers. All righty. And we have done this according to what we see in our heart of hearts is being shared by Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Charles Mosley Day. All righty. So we are expressing ourselves through our own papers. All right. And, you know, without really having the need of the approval from anyone outside of our own nation state. All right. So to speak. All righty. Because we are here from the plains of Morocco. And this is the United States of Morocco, actually, because we're not dealing with U.S. Corporation. You know, maybe you guys need to go and research the Organization of American States. How about that? get that into your thinking. See what that is. All right. Right.
And read the Constitution too. How about that?
Yes, read that document that our ancestors had set for visitors that come here. It is a just solely contract. It's a rules of engagement of what you're going to do here, right? However, at the end of the day, we
actually read it though. Don't just skim through it like
yeah.
So I don't even know how to do it. Let me not do it.
Jane went to the store. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That's not reading. Reading is like, hold on, it says we the people of the United States here, but then it says it's doing and ordaining and establishing for the United States of America. Those are two different, what's happening here. That's reading. Reading is,
who's we?
Right. Who's we the right? And then right, we the people, which is the emperor. We the people are the emperor. Actually, like you read unto thee I grant, you'll see that letter there, to the emperor, from the emperor of China to the Dalai Lama. It's very, very revealing of who an emperor or what an emperor. An emperor is actually a collective of people who chooses a prime minister as Kosal, as it is, as we said, for, in Tibetan, so to speak, or near the Tibet areas. I'm thinking, Kosal would be Mandarin for prime minister. So the people had appointed, like, you have, magistrate and subject, or master and servant, and the people are appointing you to a station for you to do something for them on their behalf. So you're interceding on their behalf. In the Greek, an intercessor on your behalf is huperentuhando, right? So also taking, I guess, the seat of one would say the prime minister, but it's someone who is just really being the one who may comprehend a certain knowledge, be able to retrieve that knowledge, comprehend that knowledge, and then be able to digest it and then share it with the people so that the people can be able to edify themselves with how you can actually break it down to them as sincerely as possibly you can without skipping anything so they can have the fullness of it. However, you may have the wisdom to actually comprehend the esoteric meanings within the text. And then you can be able to masticate it in a fashion and then like baby bird it to them, so to speak, right? Pre-mastication, right?
Embodying the truth, right? Literally.
Absolutely, right?
Islam.
Yeah.
Islam.
So with that being said, right, we just I'm guessing, right, let's look at it like this. This has been a great, and I know it went longer than we wanted to because our plans was it's so many things that happened behind the scenes that made it happen like this, right? And we really just surfed it, bro. We really just surfed it. Brother Benjamin him and Brother Sean just clutching, man. Like, it's just for us to
hilarious, man.
Yeah, man, for us to be there for each other no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be things going on behind the scenes and we'd be like, man, it's all good. We did. What's up? It's like, yeah. You know what I mean? Because I know we're providing community service for the collective, and some people don't get it. Some people are like, what is this? And some people are like, how many times did they just, make a mistake? That's fine, guys. We already set the tone. Look, we set the tone because how spirit moves or how that energy moves is like, look, this is what they said in the beginning. Now watch what happens when it happens to them, how they deal with it. And that's why I was just like, man, this is actually beautiful for me because I can take it in higher mind and go, man, this is amazing. I love how the astrology moves. Because if we go and check the testimony from last Wednesday, I'm pretty sure we described what we're doing.
Yeah, Islam. Yeah.
And so I said, go back and look at the weather report from last Wednesday. I'm pretty sure things are lining up right now, right?
Yeah.
So
it always happens. That parallel, how that happens there. And then it's funny though, because next cycle, that's that new moon, yo. That's gonna be like, ooh, that's gonna be a little intense, yeah.
Very beautiful. I mean, I look at it like this, man. Like we have a decision and we have a choice. We have free will. So you kicked it off, man, with chapter 3, man. So it's nothing else that could really, really be kind of compounded on top of that, man. Like that really set the tone for everything and allowed us to be able to show how we unify, even when there's times of faux pas. And we could blame it on, oh yeah, well, Mercury still is a retrograde shadow. That's very true. However, how are we handling that tendency?
Islam.
How are we handling the as above, so below energies? Are we allowing ourselves to not make intelligent decisions so that we can receive a favorable reply from, you know what I mean, the universal energies? Because we already know, like, however your mindset is, it's a matter of how things turn out. So you see things as you are, not as they are, so to speak, in that sense. So, right. So with that being said, I'm going to yield for any other wisdom you would like to share. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, Brother Terrell?
I think I'll wait. I'll wait till next cycle.
Indeed, no worries. Absolutely. So with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for joining us. Whoever joined us now, whoever's going to join us in the future, we're going to say namaste to you all. Myself, Law and Master, Islam.
Peace and love.
Yeah,
Be yourself.
Be yourself and donate, right?